Hi guys, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for watching. I know it's been a while, but I'm back. We're in 2017 and this is going to be my first video that I put up. This video is going to be about my favorite makeup of 2016 or best of 2016. I know I'm going to be a little bit late posting it because it's already the end of January, but it's better late than never. I just had a few holdups because of the holiday season and going back to work and a whole bunch of other things going on, but I finally got the chance to sit down. I actually attempted to film this last week and the weekend before this, but it is so hard to get good lighting because the weather is just so bipolar and it's always cloudy and rainy or snowing, so it's so hard to get good lighting. I usually use natural lighting to make videos. I kind of changed the setting of how I'm filming, but enough about that. Let me jump into the video because I have a feeling that this is going to be a long one. This is going to be my all-time favorite makeup products for 2016 and products that I plan on continuing to use for 2017. These are my all-time hands down favorite makeup products. You will not go wrong using these products. I highly 100% recommend each of the products that I'm about to mention. So let me stop rambling and just jump into the video. So to start off, this is actually not a makeup product, but it's a skincare product and it's my moisturizer. It's the Garnier SkinActive Moisture Rescue Refreshing Gel Cream for Dry Skin. Now the reason why I'm mentioning this is because as most of you may already know, that it's super important to moisturize your face and to have a good skincare routine before applying makeup or before applying anything cosmetics. You really want to take care of your skin underneath and make sure that that's on point at all times, and that is how you can get a really nice makeup application. I mean, I have so many different kind of skin problems. I suffer from acne. I have so many acne scars. I have dry skin, and they usually say people with oily skin tend to get acne, but I don't have oily skin. I have combination skin. I get oily in the T-zone, but my cheeks is where I break out and my cheeks are dry. So that's usually uncommon because you would think that if you have oily skin, the oil will build up to cause acne. But in my case, my cheeks are so dry, especially during the winter time. And I've tried so many different moisturizers, but one of my really good friends who works in beauty PR, she recommended this Garnier moisturizer and I am in love. I'm obsessed with this. I cannot live without this. I use this for morning and night, and I think the reason why I really like this compared to any other moisturizer is because it has a gel cream formula. So before using this, I've never used a gel cream formula before. So when you apply to the skin right after you wash your face, it feels so soothing and so hydrating, and it has like a cool sensation and it feels wet, like it's like that wet gel formula, but it dries quickly. It smells so good. Like the scent is so refreshing, and just I think that's what it even says in the front, refreshing gel cream. It really is true to what it says. It also says that it's non-comedogenic. If you have problems with your skin, like irritating skin, dry skin, acne, or any other issues, you should really look into products that are non-comedogenic and that are hypoallergenic. The other one, I can't say it. I think it's hypoallergenic, where they use ingredients that won't cause any type of allergies or allergic reactions. So enough about this product, but I did want to mention this first before I mention anything else, because using this moisturizer for the past, I want to say 6 months or so, has cured my dry skin and has really left a nice base for applying makeup. So I 100% recommend this product as a great moisturizer. Now moving on to the cosmetics part. So I'm not huge on primer, but only because I forget to apply it. Like, that's the one step that I always forget to put on my face before applying foundation. But last year when I placed an order on Sephora, they sent this J.One jelly pack. It's like a Korean face primer product, and it just says to pat this makeup gripper onto clean skin and follow with your usual sunscreen or foundation. So I used this when I was traveling abroad, and usually when I do travel elsewhere, like out of the country, I would do my makeup in the morning, and that whatever makeup I do in the morning is what I want to last for pretty much the whole day. I don't do touch-ups. Other than my lips, I don't touch up my makeup or anything, so I usually want my makeup to be on point and to last the whole day. So I tried this primer out while I was traveling. In terms of doing its job, it was amazing. It really left a nice base for applying the foundation. It lasted throughout the day. It's a gel-like consistency. I would show you, but I'm almost nearly finished. Again, it's called a J.One jelly pack. Best primer that I've ever used. I feel like every time I sit down to film, I'm always hearing sirens in the background, so I just have to pause, wait, and then film again. Alright, so moving on to the fun part, let's talk about makeup foundation. Now, I know one of the things that a lot of people struggle with is finding a good foundation that's like the main thing that I always get questions about, and that's the one thing that people always have to test out and see, and a lot of it has to do with, I guess, finding your right shade. And the other thing that's really important is your skin type. So depending on your skin type, if you have oily skin, dry skin, what kind of coverage you're looking for. Are you looking for a more natural, everyday, sheer coverage, full coverage? I know personally that I love medium to full coverage. I know I have a lot of scars on my face from acne, so because of that, I prefer medium to full coverage. I want everything covered and long lasting throughout the day. So in my makeup collection, I have about 6 to 7 liquid foundations. Half of them are drugstore and the others are more higher end foundations. And I would have to say the more higher end foundations do provide more coverage. Not to say that the drugstore ones aren't any good, because I love my Maybelline Fit Me foundation, but in terms of coverage, in terms of long lasting, in terms of ingredients that are used, higher end or some higher end foundations do provide that. And my personal favorites, I have 2 that I had to mention, especially for 2016, the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, as well as the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation. So these 2. And I don't use these 2 together, like I don't combine them, I use them separately. If I want really full high-end coverage, I would definitely go to the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I'm in the shade Warm Beige, and this foundation provides amazing coverage. If you want flawless coverage on your skin, like almost porcelain-like. There are like some issues that I have with this foundation, like sometimes it'll leave random streaks. I don't know how, I don't know if it's my skin or if it's foundation, but in terms of coverage, you are gonna get a medium to full coverage with this foundation, especially if you build it up. So I sort of save this for any special occasions or any time that I want to wear for a long day and I know it'll last throughout the day, then I'll go for this foundation. Now basically everything that I mentioned for the Too Faced Born This Way, you will also get from the Tarte Rainforest to the Sea. But the reason why this is my other favorite of 2016 is because this is amazing for dry skin. If you have dry skin or normal to dry skin, this foundation is a foundation for you. And the reason for that is that this is a water foundation. It's a water-based foundation. It is more liquidy. And another reason why I really like the Rainforest of the Sea foundation is not only during the winter time, but it's the summertime when your makeup tends to melt because of the hot weather and stuff. I find that this water-based foundation sort of leaves like that cool sensation when you apply it to your skin, but it doesn't get cakey. It's like skin-like, yet provides really good coverage. I get dry skin, especially during the winter times, and where my dry skin is around my cheeks, everywhere else is fine. And this is amazing and does wonders for dry skin. I'm in the shade Medium Tan Sand for the Rainforest of the Sea, and I love the packaging of this. It's just such a beautiful gradient effect cap, and it's in a glass bottle. I do also like the Too Faced packaging, but I really love the Tarte foundation. To apply this foundation, even the Born This Way foundation, I use my beauty blender, and using a beauty blender for any foundation will give you a much better coverage, in my opinion, than with a makeup brush. It'll soak into your skin, especially when you're bouncing it on your face. So those 2 had to be my hands down favorite foundation for 2016. No foundation can compete with these 2, at least for my skin. So moving on to liquid concealer, I have 2. I have drugstore and higher end. The drugstore one is the Maybelline Age Rewind's Eraser Dark Circles treatment. It is amazing. The coverage, oh my god, it's like, it leaves such a flawless coverage. It has a really nice consistency. It has a doe foot applicator, which you could just apply straight onto your under eyes. I'm sure you've seen it all over YouTube, and there's a reason why everyone raves about this. It's so good. And then after you apply this, if you set it with some sort of powder, then you're good to go. It's really amazing for not only coverage, but also to brighten up your skin. And for drugstore concealer, especially for the price point, I feel like it beats out a lot of higher end concealers. Except for one, which I personally absolutely love and only save for special occasions or for occasions where I know I'm going to be photographed a lot, and that is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. It's the Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer, and excuse the cap, it's a little discolored, but I love this concealer. I've used this concealer in all types of weather. This concealer will give you absolute flawless full coverage, long lasting. I can't even find words to describe it. It's just so good that until you try it out, you'll realize like how amazing it is. At my age, I'm starting to see some premature wrinkles, and when I apply this, I feel like not that they all go away, but it's good at hiding them, and it provides really good coverage where if I set this, whenever I use this, I use the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder to set my eyes, and those 2 together work so well, like so flawlessly. And what I really like about this, it doesn't leave any dry patches. This concealer has yet to disappoint me, and I don't know, it's just such an amazing concealer that I will always go to whenever I want to get really glammed up, whenever I want a full face, full coverage, flawless look. This is amazing for concealing and highlighting. And I'm in the shade medium neutral for the Naked Skin concealer and the shade medium for the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circle concealer. What I've been using throughout 2016, which I actually really like, is the Soap & Glory Kick-Ass Translucent Setting Powder. It says it's the Instant Retouch Pressed Powder. So as you can see, I've already hit pan, and I think it's just a really good foundation for all skin types because it's translucent. And it says that it has some sort of like blurring technology. I think it looks really nice for selfies. And it's just been my go-to sort of everyday setting powder for underneath the eyes, and I think it's really good. But I'm still in the hunt for a setting powder that I want to be like in love with, so I could recommend it to you guys. But for now, the Soap & Glory Kick-Ass Translucent Powder has done an amazing job, so I do also recommend this one. And the product that I'm about to mention next is going to be my hands down favorite makeup product of all time. And I'll tell you why in a second, but just to show you and get it out the way, it is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour and Highlight Kit. This is how it looks on the inside. I don't even know where to start because there's so many good things to talk about this palette. Like, if you want to invest your money in a good palette where you can use it for contouring your face, for highlighting your face, for using it as eyeshadow, and for basically an overall well put versatile palette, do not waste your money elsewhere. Invest it in this palette. But you get a good amount of shadow, and these are all natural nude shadows. Obviously it's for contouring, highlighting, but I love to use them for eyeshadow. It's honestly the best quality shadows I've ever used for my eyes, and it's not even meant for eyeshadow, but it's hands down better than any eyeshadow, any Urban Decay eyeshadow that I've used, any higher end, drugstore, you name it. The quality of these Kat Von D shadows lasts you the entire day, with or without a primer. It will still be there in its place, no budging, and the shadows are super pigmented, will last you the whole day. These are obviously powder shadows, powder but not powdery. It's like a smooth powder. I don't know how to explain it. It is, honestly, I feel like I'm always at a loss of words when I recommend this because it's so good. Like, if I could honestly recommend one product to do your face and save money that way, because you're using it for multiple uses, it would be this palette. And I remember being hesitant because of the price point of getting this, and I got this earlier last year, I think January 2016, and I used it throughout the year, but I still have a good amount. I've only hit pan on 2 of the shades. I don't, mind you that I don't use this every single day, but I've used it a good amount throughout the year. But it is my go-to palette if I want to slay my contour, slay my highlight, slay my eyeshadow, you name it. This is a palette for some flawless makeup. So 100% recommend this out of any of the palettes that I mentioned in my 2016 favorites. And just to mention, when I do contour my face, where I do contour is mainly on my cheeks, but I also bring it around my temples, a little bit on the forehead, some on my chin area and my jawline, but mainly the main focus is on my cheeks, and it does an amazing job of lasting the whole day. In terms of highlight, I do use the yellow tone shade in the palette. This one right here, I'll use that for underneath the eyes. But in terms of highlighting, like on your cheeks and down the bridge of your nose and a little bit above your brows or on your cupid bow, wherever you want to highlight, there is nothing that could beat these 2 products for highlighting. Like, when it comes to highlighting, these have to be the best on the market. But the one thing that I do disagree on is the price point, because this is the Cover FX, excuse the label, and you would think that such a pricey product would still have the label remaining, but no, it disappeared. But anyway, the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops. It's basically like liquid gold made in makeup form for you to look like goddess. Like, honestly, there's nothing that ever competes to this highlight when I use any other products. I also really like the Benefit What's Up highlighter. I'll give it an honorable mention. But when you compare it to the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops, these little drops, all you need is like one little drop to pretty much cover all the places that you want to highlight on your face. It does such an amazing job. It lasts the whole day. And if you really want to intensify it, you could always put it wherever you want to put it on your face, and then you could go over it with a powder highlight, and that will literally blind people. Okay, so since the Cover FX is worth $1 bajillion, I wanted to mention another product which is in a travel size form, but obviously they have the full size Becca highlighter in Opal. such a good highlighter. Becca makes really amazing highlighters, so you can't go wrong with any of the highlighters. My favorite is Opal. Such an amazing staple to your makeup collection, and I love that they have the travel size option just to throw in my makeup bag when I do travel. So I think we finished everything for the face in terms of base and whatnot. I'm gonna move on to eyes, brow, and lips, and then we should be done. So in terms of priming your eyelids for some eyeshadow, I've always used the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, but I started to use the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, which has always been around, but I found myself in 2016 grabbing and reaching out for this one. It says that it's the anti-crease eyeshadow primer, and I think it is such an amazing eyeshadow for long-lasting creaseless coverage. This is a sample size, and they do sell the full-size product, but I've used this a lot and it still hasn't run out, so this just goes to show that a little does go a long way, especially for eye primer. So I definitely recommend this one as well as the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. Now for eyeshadow, like I said before, my absolute favorite eyeshadow that I use is from the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. It's all nude natural shades, so I use it for almost an everyday look or for even a glam look. All you have to do is use the lighter shades for the base and then use the darker contour shades on your crease, and you just build it up to your liking. But all the shades that I need are in here. So these are my favorite shades for eyeshadow, but I do have some honorable mentions for eyeshadows in terms of palettes. So I have two palettes. One I did a YouTube video already, which I will link in the description box. It is the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani limited edition makeup palette. It comes with some beautiful makeup shades. If you want a more in-depth review and tutorial, I will link that video down in the description box. But it just has some amazing shades. The quality is really good and long lasting. Most of the shades are natural nude shades along with some darker shades for the crease. And down here you have some really nice unique colors from a pink to like a royal blue to a goldish yellow color. So I personally love this palette and wish that it was in limited edition, and at the time it came out I remember spending like $65, which is pretty ridiculous for an eyeshadow, but then during the holiday season I saw that it went down all the way to $25. So I hope that a lot of you were able to get your hands on it if you were interested in it because it was a really good palette. Now the other palette that I really wanted to mention is the Tarte Lit in Bloom palette. This eyeshadow palette is extremely travel friendly. It is so slim and so little. I'm gonna put it next to my face so you could probably get an idea of how small it is. Throw it in your makeup bag, so I really like that. So the Tarte Lit in Bloom palette that I have is the Amazonian Clay palette. It comes in such a beautiful range of colors. It's a mix of matte and shimmery colors. My personal favorite is Flower Child, Funny Girl, Sweetheart, Rebel. What I really love about this palette is that the shades are wearable. Like these are the shades that you would wear on an everyday basis or a night out. Like they're not outside of a lot of people's comfort zone. You have the pink undertone shades, you have the natural browns, and you have some darker colors to build up on the crease if you want to turn it into a smoky eye, or if you want to keep it more natural, you have the lighter shades, and so many different options for a transitional shade. So this is such an amazing range of eyeshadow shades in terms of selection. And the palette itself smells really good. It smells like chocolate. So that's that palette. I definitely wanted to mention these two palettes because they do also have really amazing shades, especially the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. Like I said before, nothing in my opinion can beat Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Highlight Kit, or even her other eyeshadow palettes and stuff. Her quality and her makeup products are so good, so long lasting, creaseless. You definitely get your money's worth in terms of her shadows and her palettes. So although I'm in love with the Kat Von D palette, I understand that it's a little pricey, so I did want to give some really good honorable mentions. A drugstore alternative, which I think is an amazing bronzer slash contour shade. Looking for contour shades, in my opinion, in the drugstore can be a little bit difficult because they don't have that many highlight slash contour options. So I really loved the Circa Beauty Picture Perfect powders. This one is in Amalfi Coast, and this one is in Punta Mita. Amalfi Coast powder bronzer is so good for contouring your face or to add some bronzer to your face. It's so pigmented, and I really like how the brown shade is dark, because usually it's kind of hard to find dark shades for contouring in general, especially for girls with darker skin, because sometimes I find myself using a bronzer that's almost my skin tone, so I need a more darker, more pigmented color. So I thought it was amazing that they chose this shade of brown powder, because even if you are a lighter skin tone, you could use a darker color but use it in moderation and use only a little bit. And I also really enjoyed the powder blush in Punta Mira. I think it's such a beautiful color. I think it's such a beautiful go-to pink blush shade for any makeup look. These shadows are super pigmented, and that's what I really love, because it's a drugstore brand and yet it offers that high-end pigmentation coverage. So I definitely recommend these two. So moving on to eyeliner, if there's any other product from this video other than the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette that I would 110% recommend, it is going to be this eyeliner for less than $5, but yet does such an amazing job. Doesn't even compare to half the eyeliners out there. This will give you a super black eyeliner sharp look. It's so easy to glide on your eyelid. It's amazing for winged eyeliner looks, and the best part of this eyeshadow is that it will last the whole day, like literally from morning to night. It is honestly so long lasting. It will not budge or smudge or anything like that. It will stay in its place. It is such an amazing, and it applies super dark, like dark black eyeliner, and it's less than $5. I think it's like $4 and something cents. You could get it at Walmart, you could get it at the drugstore. LA Girl has really good products, and this has to be like one of the best liquid eyeliners that I've ever used. It is very comparable to the Kat Von D tattoo liner. Why spend all that money when you could get it for less than $5? It's cruelty free and it is a holy grail. To tightline my upper and lower waterline, what I use is the Crayon Contour Eyeliner Pencil in 602 Black Ebony. It is such a nice creamy eyeliner color, and it's so easy to apply on both the upper and lower waterline. It is in the pencil form. It's super long and it will last you forever. I used this throughout 2016, and I legit only had to sharpen it one time. So imagine using this pretty much the whole year and only having to sharpen it once or twice, and you still have a long way to go. So this will last you, I want to say, years. Like, this is such a good investment in an eyeliner pencil. So if you're in the market for that, definitely go for this one. Now for mascara, I recently posted a video of the top best 4 mascaras of all time. I will link the video down in the description box, but the reason why for 2016 I'm mentioning these two is because you really do not have to spend that much money for mascara. $50 on a mascara, it's not worth it, because some of the best mascaras are at the drugstore. I found myself spending so much money for higher end mascaras, but nothing beats or compares to drugstore mascaras. So these two are my favorite for 2016. The Maybelline Lash Sensational is such an amazing mascara. A couple coats of this mascara will make you look like you have false lashes. And my other favorite is the L'Oreal Voluminous Feline mascara. I love this mascara. It makes you look like you have that cat eye effect, and I really like it. Both these mascaras, they like lift your eyelashes up where you can see all of them, and it really nicely frames your eyes after you do your eye makeup. They're really long lasting. They're amazing mascaras. This is the wand for the Maybelline Lash Sensational, and this is the wand for the L'Oreal Voluminous Feline. So since I don't wear false lashes, these two mascaras have really helped make my lashes look like false lashes when you really don't have to wear them. Moving on to brows, the #1 brow product that I actually use, and I do have a brow tutorial that I can link down below, but I actually don't use any brow specific products to fill in my brows with powder. I just use this L'Oreal quad that I've had for so many years. As you can tell, it is very worn out, and this is the second little quad that I had to purchase. I'm gonna have to buy a couple more backups because, as you can see, I am running out and hitting pan on this dark brown shade, but I find that this shade is the only shade that will make it look so natural. I've tried so many different kinds of powders and brow products. I've tried ABH brow products, and although they're good, I just find myself going back to this one little eyeshadow, and I just use a brow brush to fill them in. So this specific shadow is my Ride or Die, and it's my absolute favorite for filling in my brow. And if ever I'm not using that brown shadow, I would use one of these two brow products. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in dark brown. This is the Soap and Glory Sculptin 2-in-1 brow pen. So I wanted to give these honorable mentions because they are actually good brow products. I would just fill them in and then use the other side for the spoolie. They're both really good for filling in, but in terms of powder, I always just stick to my L'Oreal little eyeshadow quad, and I use a brown shade. So now, last but not least, we're gonna move on to lips. And for lips, I have two go-to liners, and I could use these liners for any lipstick that I want to put on. I would use these lip liners alone if I wanted to, just to fill in line my entire lip, and they're both really long lasting. So the first one is from MAC and it's in the shade Spice. As you can tell, I've used it a lot. This color is really nice on all different skin types, from light skin to darker skin. I personally like it because of the color. I think it's such a nice, natural, dark, nudish color, and it's super long lasting. It has a high stain power. Now the other lip liner that's just as good, that I really love, and I find myself always using this, especially when I wear a dark lip, and this one is the Revlon Timeless Liner in Mocha. So this is also a pencil liner, and I've also used this a lot. This is the actual shade. I use this today to line my lips. So between these two, I absolutely love them. They're my go-to. They line the lips beautifully. They're such nice natural colors, and I would definitely recommend them. In terms of lip options, I have 3 of my favorites. This one is the Buxom Big and Sexy Sinful Cinnamon. As you can tell, I love brownish nude lip shades or lip options. I think they're good for any eye look or any makeup look. This smells so good. It smells like chocolate. It's long lasting, and this one is really comfortable on the lips, and that's why I like it. The second one is the Too Faced Melted Liquid Longwear Lipstick. This one is in the shade Rouge, I believe. It's like the pinkish purplish one. It has like a doe foot applicator, and you could just apply it straight on the lips, and this one is straight up matte, and whenever I want like a really nice matte lipstick, I would definitely reach for this one. This is long lasting. It has a really nice matte look. The only thing with this one is I would recommend wearing a good lip balm underneath, because if you don't, then it does tend to make your lips feel dry. But in terms of coverage, this lasts for a really long time. And then last but not least, I have my Lancome Trendy Mauve Cream Lipstick. And once again, it's a nice brown, beautiful nude lipstick. As you can tell, I'm in love with these shades of lip color. But the only thing is, even though the lip colors that I'm showing look similar, they're actually different in texture. So this one is more creamy, it's more comfortable to wear, it's not matte. So based on how my lips feel for the day is how I also decide what kind of lip I'm gonna wear. So last but not least, I have to mention my Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. Cooling and hydrating, oil-free, paraben-free, temperature-controlled technology. Stuff is amazing for a long night out, or for it to last throughout the day from morning to night. Feels really nice after you apply your makeup. It really brings it to life, and it just completes the look, and it will help your makeup stay in place and last a really long time. So that, you guys, concludes my video of best of makeup for 2016. I hope this wasn't too long, and I hope you guys enjoyed my favorite picks. I'm sorry that the lighting changed because I'm using natural light. The sun came down, so it's not as bright anymore, but thank you to those who stuck throughout the entire video. I know it was a long one, but I'm excited to be making more videos coming up, so be sure to subscribe to my channel. And thank you again. We're so close to reaching 2,000 subscribers, so if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my next video.